have some tabulators that were programmed for September that were fed September ballots. And we have some tabulators that were programmed for October with October ballots. As long as the October ballots were read by the October memory cards and the September cards were reading September ballots, the result taped from the tabulator would be correct. And I believe this is exactly what happened. To the extent that there was one location and one tabulator that was using a September memory card with October ballots, and it had this extra person or contest, that is, there wouldn't be any changes to the top of the ballot contests, but there very well may be a change to the affected race. And to my knowledge, that's precisely why the Secretary of State's office, together with Antrim County officials, are working to do a 100% audit on the presidential race to confirm that the results on the tape actually match 100% the results of the paper ballots, which of course had been securely stored under the custody of the local election officials.
So that is not my understanding of how that whole process worked, and it doesn't, the numbers that we saw should not have been affected at the top of the ticket for stuff that was going on at the bottom of the ticket. Now, what I had in my head for how that happened is you've just completely come back with something different than what I expected to hear. So can you explain to me how the top of the ticket numbers would have been affected by bottom of the ticket changes with what you just told me?
Okay. So we have two sets of results. We have the result tapes that are printed at the end of the election at polls close. And that is a thermal tape that has the results in the tally and the number of ballots that correspond to the number of ballots in the ballot box. Mm-hmm. We're good on that. So we call those tabulator results from the printout. Then we have the centralized computer that is designed to amalgamate and tally the results from all of the 18 tabulators together in a way that it can be reported easily from the county to, let's say, the Secretary of State's office or the media. So what I just said is in particular regards to the tabulator results. This is the printout that happened. There was multiple printouts at the close of poll at the end of election day. One was posted publicly in whatever building each tabulator was in. Multiple copies would have been handed out, and we have those results. And as long as September ballots were fed into machines that had memory cards programmed from the September project, those results will be 100% accurate. And as long as the tabulators that featured the cards from the October programming had October ballots fed through them, those tapes would be 100% accurate. When those cards then got driven in to the central location and they were inserted into a desktop computer, our tally server that the county has in their sole possession and control, the September cards should not have even been allowed to download the results if it was programmed in a regular way. The only way, and this is what confounded the two human error issues, because the programming was allowed to accept on the back end, on the tally computer, that tally computer was instructed to read cards from the September project and the October project. And that is where the reporting error from the night of the election through to the next morning at some point, that is where the results were very off, because that database was expecting structures in different ways than they actually were given on those memory cards. And that is what confounded the problem. So the results were never validated. They were never certified. And that is exactly the process of Canvas and why they were caught the day after.